Aloha and welcome. I'm Michael Mackintosh, founder of Enlightened Entrepreneurs Academy, and I'm with my good friend Pargash Georgie, Dr. Pargash Georgie, in fact, and she is an absolutely remarkable woman. She's just brought out a new book called Cancer's Greatest Gift: The 7 Keys to Radiant Health and Joy, starting now. And I'm very excited to be doing this interview with Paragash. She is an expert in this field. She herself overcame cancer, breast cancer herself, and has basically created this for other women to be able to achieve the kind of lifestyle and experiences that she's having. She has an amazing life. She's an amazing woman. She's highly inspirational. So welcome, Paragash. So happy you're here. What a blessing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all those lovely words, Michael Mackintosh. And you have been a beautiful mentor and very instrumental in the production of this book. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure. It's been a real joy working with Pashi and watching her evolution and allowing her gifts to shine, because she's got so much to offer the world, and this book is a really wonderful gift to the world. The book is in itself a gift. And so I want to ask a few questions so that she can really add massive value to the lives of whoever's listening to this, and they get an idea of what is going on with this book, who it's for, what it's about, how it can help you, and all those juicy things. And really, we're going to have an intimate conversation, get nitty-gritty, and really get to the real deal, because cancer, breast cancer, is a massive topic. It affects the lives of hundreds of thousands of women all over the world, and we really need to take this seriously, and Pashi has shown up and provided a service that seems to be hugely lacking in the world right now. So I just want to give her massive respect for that. So let's get straight to it. I want to ask you, first of all, Pashi, Paragash, what do you prefer, Pashi or Paragash?
Pashi.
Pashi?
Yes.
Very good. So, first of all, why did you decide to write this book? What are your deeper reasons? What was it that motivated you to really put this out there in the world and take your precious time to, deliver this into the world?
I was inspired to write this book rather than motivated, because I had breast cancer, and when I had breast cancer, I had no one to turn to apart from mainstream medicine, and which only just cuts you up and doesn't really heal you at the root cause of cancer. And therefore, I did it the hard way, and I felt that through this book, I would be able to empower women, and so that they won't suffer as much as I did. And I'm offering them solutions that they can use right away.
That's wonderful. And I just want to ask you this, sort of straight up. A lot of people, when they hear that they've got breast cancer or any kind of disease, probably are not thinking straight away, oh, what a wonderful gift this is, right? But
Yes.
Your book title is Cancer's Greatest Gift. So can you just talk about how you have considering that cancer is your greatest gift, not just a gift, but a greatest gift? That's a very powerful statement. So why do you say that? Why do you say cancer is your greatest gift?
Well, mainly because before I had breast cancer and before I was faced with this challenge, I was living a less than optimal life. But after I had breast cancer, I had to go deep within myself and ask myself, how did I cause this? And from that, I was able to discover my life purpose and to realize where I was doing things wrong. And therefore, I corrected all the things that I was doing wrong, like my lifestyle, the food I was eating, the people I was interacting with. And I realized that I had a lot of traumas that I had to deal with. And as a result of my dealing with all those root causes of cancer, I'm now able to live the best life ever, and hence my reason for sharing this book with all the rest of the women who are on a similar journey.
Wow. So, so what you're saying basically is that because of the cancer and the situation and the challenge and the pain you went through, you actually genuinely, honestly have a superior, more enjoyable life than you had before.
Absolutely. Much, much better. If I hadn't had cancer, I would still be eating junk food and creating a bigger junk body, and I'll be interacting with people who are vibrating at a low energy level. Whereas now I choose to mix with like-minded people, people who eat healthy and have healthy lifestyles, who exercise, and really are living a life of co-create, of creating, collaborating, and living a life of ease.
Wow, that's huge, and so it genuinely is a gift. And do you consider it as if, in a sense, if someone has overcome cancer, a lot of people actually die when they get cancer. I think the percentage is getting less, but still, some people who get it don't don't survive cancer.
Yes.
So if they do, then in a way it's almost like having another life, like a cat gets 7 lives. It's almost like they have another life. Is that how
Yes.
you look at it when someone has achieved the freedom? That it's almost like a new life. Is that what happened to you? You kind of had a new life after cancer.
Exactly. It's like getting a new lease on life, and it's not uncommon to hear such stories that when you're faced with death, it raises issues of mortality. And then you have no choice but to go in and find the answers within yourself rather than the outer world, because the answers are all in us. What have I done wrong in all spheres of my life, with my relationships, with my career, with my food program, and my spirituality? So I had no choice but to go deep within and look for the answers there. The answer was in me. And this is what I feel I'll be able to share in my book with all the women in the world who've had breast cancer, that it's not a death sentence. On the contrary, they can use it as a gift and live the best life ever and really thrive instead of just surviving. I was just surviving before breast cancer and having a very normal academic life, and I wasn't happy in my skin. But
Right.
now I'm a totally different person. I'm very authentic in all my relationships, and people just accept me for who I am. And yes, I'm living a thriving life. And I'm embracing my feminine energy and bonding with issues that come into my life rather than rejecting them or resisting them. I'm bonding with them and coming from a place of oxytocin rather than adrenaline, because women function better because we are better at secreting oxytocin, which is a love hormone, a bonding hormone. So I've learned how to bond with my challenges, give myself space, have the awareness, and then take action steps to move forward. And this is such a huge secret in my life that I'd like to share with all the women in the world.
Wow, that's very exciting. So, who is this for? Because some people, they seem to be very much only interested in the mainstream medicine and mainstream everything, and probably would find it a bit of a stretch to accept some of the things you've said already. We were only just getting started. So, who's your ideal person to read this book? Because not everything we do is for everyone. Like the work I do is for spiritually minded entrepreneurs who really want to make a difference in the world. And a lot of people, they're not thinking that way. They just want to make money without having their heart. So I'm dealing with very sensitive, more higher consciousness people. So who is ideally your book designed for, and who is it not for, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
Yes, it's designed for women who have an open mind, who are happy to embrace new ideas rather than disempowering themselves by just taking medications and um, opting for the easy solution like surgery and radiotherapy and chemotherapy, and looking for an alternative solution that is less damaging to their bodies, because our bodies are a pharmacy. Our bodies are an amazing self-healing mechanisms. And so it's for women who have an open mind and are happy to explore new ideas and embrace experiment with the new ideas and discover for themselves whether they work or not. It may not be for everyone. Like if some women think that only mainstream doctors are the real doctors, so this book is not for them. This book is for women who have an open mind and are ready to embrace alternative healing therapies, self-healing, and are more open to a very holistic approach to healing.
So, tell us a little bit about the book itself. What do you cover in the book? You know, what is in the book? What are the different main points and chapters and topics you talk about?
Certainly. In the first chapter, I talk about who this book is for and who it isn't for, and how whoever reads this book at the very beginning has to work out what they're looking for in life and what is their main purpose in life. What do they want? Where are they at now, and where do they want to be? And my book will help them close that gap.
Nice.
So, and I talk about Eastern medicine and Western medicine and how they are different and how they are similar. And in the next chapter, I talk about my story of how I went through it. I created my own problems by having a personality that was very reactive to my own reactions and external reactions, and being very adrenaline driven, just like a man. And then how I had to change my inner concept, self-image and self-concept, and embrace the feminine side of me and work with oxytocin rather than adrenaline, which men function very well on adrenaline. They know how to process it, but women don't. We are good at bonding and befriending, and therefore we work best with oxytocin. And how I used my feminine energy to change my inner self-concept, working with a mentor and so on. And I share all of that in my story. And then in the next chapter, I talk about the fears that women go through after they've had breast cancer and how we can overcome them, and I give them cutting-edge tools to how they can overcome their fears. And in the next key, it's all about debunking myths that doctors are the only solution if you have a health problem. So I go through all the myths and how myths are just built upon a belief system. And it's just a belief system, it's not the truth. Then I go on to talk about how one ought to change one's lifestyle, how important exercise is, and how easy it is to take baby steps towards changing one's lifestyle so that you do not relapse. Mm-hmm. Then I talk about the nutritional program, how we need to absolutely move away from eating foods that would encourage a relapse, and to wean ourselves off those foods and eat other foods gradually that would make sure we do not relapse and do not have those fears as well. Yes, so those are some of the keys, major keys that I discuss in my book.
That's powerful. So that's a very comprehensive study you've got there. It's almost as if you've taken every element that you've experienced that works, and you've put it all in there so someone else can take advantage of that. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. They don't need to go anywhere else if they trust in themselves and they trust someone else who's had the lived experience and who has lived through the experience. And the keys that I've used are keys that have been proven to work, and it will work for anyone. Obviously, there'll be certain things that they will need to tweak here and there and do what works for them. But on the whole, I think the book is very comprehensive and yes, absolutely provides all the keys to self-heal and live the best life ever.
I think this is a very important point. because a lot of courses and books about topics are written by people who haven't personally gone through the experience and overcome it. So they're not really an authority on the topic because they haven't lived it. You know,
Yeah.
as much as I might know about health and wellness, I haven't had breast cancer. Haven't got any breasts because I'm not a woman, so I can't have breast cancer even if I wanted to get it. And so even though I might have experiences, it's not something I can really show up and talk about. So I think it's very powerful that you have gone through the whole thing yourself, come out the other end, really experienced a big transformation personally, and now you're delivering the real deal to other
Yes,
people, and that's
yes. So I
important.
had breast cancer 15 years ago, and I'm still here. So that is evidence enough. That's evidence-based results or results-based therapy. Yes,
Yeah,
that I'm offering other women.
that's
Yes,
powerful. That's an extremely important point.
yes.
So, can you explain how someone can benefit from this? Like what are the steps someone could take to actually get a result? Some of those practical things that they could do right now if they wanted to. Though of course you go into more detail in the book. But what are the things that you help them go through to help them genuinely benefit and take action and get a result that they want in their life?
Yes, I would like them to visit my website, New Life After Cancer, where they will have access to a lot of free gifts that will start them off on that journey right away. For example, how to change their lifestyle and how to tap into their inner resources and clear emotional and psychological clutter, and how to avoid certain foods that would prevent them from having a relapse, and the foods they ought to eat to make sure they don't relapse, and things like that. And it's all free. And it's
Nice.
a gift worth $585.
Well, that's very generous of you.
It's a pleasure.
So, um, so I encourage everyone to go over there to the website. It's New Life After
New
Breast
Life
Cancer
After Breast Cancer.
dot com
Yes.
dot com newlifeafterbreastcancer.com. And I'm just going to ask you
Yes.
some more questions.
So,
So can you just share maybe three of the most effective practical things someone could do right now, right here today, that will help them get a result? Some practical tips. You know.
certainly. I would begin by just changing your lifestyle. Go for a walk for half an hour and see how you feel. Maybe do any exercise of your choice. Secondly, um, write a list of the foods that you could switch from. Like instead of eating ice cream, you might want to switch to drinking 100% raw cacao chocolate. So gradually changing some food habits. And thirdly, um, writing a list of 5 things they appreciate in their life. And then developing that attitude of gratitude, which is very empowering. It's a life changer. So those 3 steps: lifestyle, food, and adopting a more positive approach to life, where they give themselves space to get the awareness as to there's so much beauty in their life, and to focus on what's going well in their life rather than what's not going well.
Wonderful. So
And then
just
as a result of that, they will feel wonderful, they'll enjoy more energy, they'll feel more empowered, and yes, and when they feel good, they'll be attracting a lot of good things into their life.
that's great. So just to recap, to write a gratitude list every day, so they can
Yes,
start having a positive outlook on things and really appreciate the good things,
yes,
beautiful things in their life, and to just one, because I know you talk about more this in your book about lifestyle changes, because there's many practical lifestyle changes, but
yes.
just to do some exercise every single day, even if it's
Mhm.
for 30 minutes, or
Yes.
even maybe 10 minutes would be better than nothing.
Yes.
But
Yes.
just to make sure that that happens, what is the benefit of exercising specifically?
Oh, mainly because it releases endorphins. Endorphins are feel good. It's a feel good hormone,
Nice.
and it's also a cardiovascular exercise. Your heartbeat goes up a bit, and you feel good. Yeah, it's a feel good effect. And if you're feeling depressed, you'll feel much better.
Nice.
And it's good if you can walk in the sunshine, so you have the dual benefit. So it's all good. You feel good.
All right. And so, can you share some of the exercise things that you personally do? So maybe they can take a leaf out of your book and learn from you personally. What do you do that your favourite exercises? How long do you do them for, and when do you do them?
Oh, I make sure that I start my day with certain practices. One of them is spiritual practices, where I always devote about between 20 minutes to half an hour to going into myself and either meditating or doing breathing exercises, which help me secrete oxytocin and I feel good. And then I hop onto my rebounder.
Yay.
A rebounder is like taking us back to to the times when we were babies and we were in the crib and we bounced in our crib and we felt good. So
I
the
have one.
rebounder is where you bounce and
I
you
have
feel
one
good.
right here,
And you
actually. Look, there it
feel,
is.
yeah.
I actually just this is a bit spontaneous, but I'll just show you how easy this is. There's the rebounder,
Yes.
and you can see it. There we are. And I just, you can just bounce around like this.
Yes. Yes.
And
It's super easy.
it's super fun.
Yes, yes,
I
it's fun. It's like taking us back to our
yeah,
childhoods
it's a
when we
great little
felt so
thing.
happy just bouncing on the bed.
Nice. And
Wonderful. And
yeah,
then I do a bit of yoga for stretches, and I might even use some dumbbells on the rebounder. And I set the tone for my day, and I'm very happy all day long. And if there are people around me that are reactive, I choose not to react to their reactivity, and I choose to stay in a place of neutrality where I'm not affected by my own reactivity or other people's reactivity. I stay in a place of positive emotions.
that's great.
Yeah.
How do you do that specifically? I'm just going to ask you some personal questions because people can benefit from your personal experience. So let's say that you got some funny comment from someone or some message from somebody that you don't appreciate or something that it triggers you a little bit. How do you not allow that to ruin your day? And what do you do to get out of it and go back to their good feelings?
The first question that comes to my mind is, how did I contribute to this situation?
Nice.
So that empowers me. I put myself at cause rather than into victim consciousness. And then I say, okay, I contributed to it. Now, how can I not react? Then I take a few oxytocin breaths, at least up to 7, until I know that I'm in a place of neutrality. And then if I need to take action steps with that awareness, I will get insights as to what I should do next. Sometimes I may have to do nothing and just give myself space. And the solution will come to me. Okay, I need to do this, or I'm just surrender and do nothing. So that's my approach to. We have been trained to be reactive. We have been trained to be negative because of thousands of years ago there was a kind of survival of the fittest philosophy. But research suggests that when Darwin wrote Survival of the Fittest, it was actually to be cooperative. When we cooperate with each other, that energizes us. But when the book went to the higher powers, they felt that, oh, when you cooperate, oh, we can't rule them. Let's change it to survival of the fittest. So through cooperation, and how can I cooperate with this person to live the best life ever, rather than fighting with that person or just distance myself for the person for some time. So that's the sort of approach I would take: to cooperative, create, collaborate, and live a life of ease. And sometimes Living a life of ease takes more courage. It does not mean you live an easy life. An easy life has a connotation of being lazy. That's not what I'm talking about. Living a life of ease is having the courage to take the plunge and following your intuition and doing what you're called to do.
That's powerful. And I'm interested about these 7 oxytocin breaths you've talked about. Why don't you guide us through that right now?
Certainly. Let's say, I know you are a man, but that's okay. You do not secrete oxytocin as well as I do, but we can do it
I'll
together.
do my best.
Okay, let's think of a situation that's bothering you, and put your left hand on your heart, and think of peace and relaxation, and put your right hand just below your belly button, and think of enthusiasm for how you want that event to turn out, to be enthusiastic, and begin with the end in mind and imagine it's already done, and take a not take a deep breath, but allow a deep breath into your belly and make your belly balloon. And on the exhale, exhale with a ha sound, H-A-A, ha sound, not an ah sound, and with a pleasurable ha sound with a smile on your face. Okay, let's do it together. Ha. Wonderful. It's so super easy. It's easy as that, and anyone can do it. You don't even have to use the hand positions if you're in public. You just do it without the positioning your health in different parts of your body if you're in public. Just breathe.
That's great. I really enjoyed that. It's a wonderful bliss chemicals, and yeah. So I hope everyone listening can practice this. And of course, you talk about more about this sort of thing in your book and in your website and in your courses
Yes.
and coaching, because Pashi does. She does live events and she does coaching and she does all sorts of things. So there's a lot of goodies you can get from her. And also about the nutrition. Let's say someone, they've overcome breast cancer, they want to make sure they don't relapse. What are the maybe 2 or 3 things they can remove from their diet right now?
I saw an integrative medicine doctor, and the first thing he did was to remove all cereal and all gluten from my diet. So basically made a total change. And I had a choice whether to listen to him or continue eating what I was eating. And I chose to heal, live the best life ever. So I just did what he did. So I would recommend to women who've had breast cancer to gradually wean themselves off all dairy and all cereal. It's okay if you occasionally eat a bit of cheese at a social or eat a little bit of gluten, but to test whether you're allergic to it or not, eat that food for 4 days. And if you feel bad, you're allergic to that food, and therefore you would want to put yourself off those foods. And so remove dairy, remove all gluten, and also cut down on wine, because wine is also quite acidic and it causes inflammation. So you wouldn't want too much of that. And on the other hand, eat foods that are more alkaline, like vegetables and fruit with low fructose or sugar content, and drink more spring water, up to fluids, a lot of fluids in spring water. And if you can, fast on just spring water once a week, or just light food once a week, so your body to heal. And also introduce some superfoods like goji berries, raw cacao, and spirulina if you can, but very gradually. Just go to the health food shop and add a bit of goji berries into your breakfast cereal. And when you feel like a coffee occasionally, sorry?
But you just told that we don't want to eat cereal, so what am I going to replace cereal with?
Yes, so instead of cereal, they might make a smoothie, for instance, with blueberries. Like my smoothie every morning consists of frozen blueberries, a protein powder, either a hemp seed powder or rice powder, and some almond milk.
Sounds great.
And you blend them all and makes a beautiful semi-solid breakfast smoothie. And yes, it's delicious.
That's great. So
Yes.
remove gluten, dairy, and cereal type things,
Yes.
and replace that with smoothies, goji berries, spirulina, and raw cacao, raw chocolate. I have
Yes.
so much raw chocolate. I even have a chocolate company that makes raw chocolate in England.
Wonderful.
Very
Yes, I've
successful
tried some
company.
of your chocolates.
You're
They're
gonna have
beautiful.
to you have to order it specially because it's not everywhere in the world quite yet. But raw chocolate's a great thing. Obviously, everything in moderation is important.
Yes.
So they're
Yes.
great tips. They're really great tips you've just mentioned. And of course, there's much more in the book, and there's a lot of details. It's a very practical book. It's like
Yes.
almost a step-by-step guide to feeling great, looking great, and experiencing a wonderful life. So, if somebody is to actually do the things you mentioned in your book, what is going to be new and different in their life? How is their life going to change?
Oh, their life will change immensely. It'll be like black and white. They will be able to live an authentic life, where they live from the essence of who they really are, rather than pretending to fit in with society and living a pretentious life. They'll be transparent. They'll speak their mind, and they will have good relationships with themselves and with everyone else. They will know how to deal with conflicts. Of course, where you have two or more people, there's bound to be conflict, and that's part of being human. They will know how to deal with conflicts in a nice, peaceful, and harmonious way. And yes, live the best life ever. And they would want to enjoy more longevity, and live like a bird, lightly and freely, and enjoying radiant health, joy, and longevity. So, yes, live from a place of passion. They're driven by their passion rather than societal norms of living, do this, that, and the other, because that's just programming and it's just a belief system. So we're moving into the new paradigm where it's all about living from your essence, being authentic, being who you really are, and yes, and feeling good about it, looking great, both on the inside and outside, and yes, appreciating and loving who you are, and appreciating and loving all the people around you, like-minded people, and contributing to society. Um, yeah, contributing to sharing your gift with the rest of the world.
That's
And
huge.
yes, expressing their gift.
Wow, that's really, really powerful. Yeah, that's total life transformation, and
Yes.
you give away so much stuff for free. The book is very reasonably priced book, and so I can't see any reason why someone wouldn't buy a bunch of these and give them to their friends, and really just pure gold you're giving away, really.
Yes. Yes.
Now,
Yes.
now one of the things that I have to mention is that there's lots of wonderful things you've said, and someone has the opportunity here to completely transform their whole life, okay? However, we have to be real, and we have to realize that there are always obstacles and challenges that we face on the path of self-transformation and self-evolution. A lot of people don't talk about this. It's something that I like to bring up when I work with people, because some people never mention this, and so they're pretending that it's easy for human beings just to make a change. But I feel we need to be honest and real.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're lying to ourselves and to other people. So why don't you go ahead and share some of the obstacles someone is likely to experience if they go and do this, and then we can help them overcome that as well.
Oh yes, we will face challenges in world, and that's part of being human. Challenges like people breaching your trust, because when we do this work, self-change is a lifelong process. It's not a one-off thing. It's a daily transformation, and it takes a whole lifetime. And we are never done. So, so there's no upper limit. It goes higher and higher. So how do you deal with challenges? There will be obstacles where we feel that our trust has been betrayed. What do? It's very painful, but we have a choice. They say pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. You can choose not to suffer. You can choose to take the path less trodden and just surrender. And there are many ways to dealing with many healing modalities, dealing with that, like how we need assistance to surrender. Sometimes we can't do it by ourselves, just like you can't have the best ever massage by massaging yourself. You need professional help. And I have spent a lot of money a few years ago seeking professional help, where I had to release all my traumas at a cellular level and things like that. So when we are faced with challenges, sometimes we need a professional help therapist, which you can access online, or my book would be a place to go to, where I have several recommendations of people who can help you. That's one way to deal with obstacles. That's clearing emotional and psychological clutter when we get triggered. And when it comes to food allergies and all, again, I would recommend that in the initial stages you see a very good integrative medicine doctor who will make you do all the various tests to make sure that you have the right amount of nutrients and micronutrients, and what you need to avoid and what you need to supplement. Maybe you have hormonal balance and things like that, and your thyroid is functioning well. And on a lifestyle level, again, a mentor will be able to tell you, how you can change your lifestyle, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and give you suggestions. And after a while, you become your own mentor, and then you'll be able to help others upgrade their lives as well. Yes, so that's how I dealt with obstacles in my life. I sought a lot of professional help, and I had to go within myself, and times when I just had to surrender to a higher source, because I cannot handle such obstacles as a human being. And yeah, I surrender it to my higher self. And that's all about spiritual evolution. And for that to happen, one has to raise one's level of consciousness. And you can only raise your level of consciousness by eliminating all the traumas that you may have in your body, traumas that you may not even be aware of, that you may have inherited from past lives, or whilst you were in your mom's womb and your parents were having arguments and you picked up their traumas, or from age 0 to 5, the imprinting age, where you may have grown up in a violent home where one parent was abused by the other, and you picked up that this world is not a safe place to live in, and you were afraid to grow up. So all these healing modalities will help you overcome those obstacles and make you feel it's safe to grow up and live the best life ever, and contribute to society, and share your gift with the rest of the world.
That's beautiful. So if I understand what you said correctly, you basically have put in a huge amount of time and energy and experimentation and research, and invested a large amount of money into different therapies and professionals, and you're basically putting all that information together into your work that you do, so that you can save people the hassle and they can just get the essence and the result as quickly as possible. Rather, because not everyone has the funds and the resources and the time to go to all these different people and do all this stuff and have years and years and years. So it sounds like you've just simplified it, learned the lessons, and you can just help someone get the result in their life very, very quickly.
Yes, pretty much, yes. It's the essence of all the various steps and how to overcome obstacles. without much suffering, without much drama and trauma that I went through. So whoever reads my book is in a very privileged position to live a life of ease and then go ahead and create and collaborate with other women and tap into the divine feminine essence and, yes, help change the world, help change the environment, improve this planet, and yes, live the best life ever.
Oh, so
Life of thriving rather than surviving.
that's beautiful. To thrive rather than survive after getting breast cancer.
Yes.
So that's so.
That was an oxytocin breath.
There we go. It's a joy because it really brings me personally joy to talk to people like you who are honestly getting out this good news into the world and providing real solutions in a real grounded, practical way for real problems that otherwise are not being solved. And
Yeah,
I know
this
personally,
great pleasure.
yeah, it's like we don't need to suffer anymore. Like suffering is not necessary. We've been conditioned that suffering somehow is necessary and part of life. It isn't, and you're showing people a way to alleviate their suffering and make choices that bring them happiness, health, wealth, freedom. And just basically having the life they want. And really, why are we here in the world?
To enjoy our life,
yeah,
yes.
exactly. There's no point coming here just to suffer and then die. That's not very useful. So it's a joy to have this. So what do you want people to do right now if they're inspired to get on the case with this?
Yes, I love them to go to my website, newlifeaftercancer.com, and enjoy all the free gifts that are available there, and realize that we didn't come into this world to suffer. There will come a point where we have to get to a stage where we need to take the plunge and embrace our intuition and embrace who we really are, and then live the best life ever. We came into this world basically to learn three things. Firstly, to realize that we are spiritual beings and we are not our bodies or our personalities. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And secondly, we came into this life to get the awareness why we are suffering. If we do not have financial prosperity, we need to know what lessons is life telling us to learn. Or if we do not have enjoy thriving relationships, that's maybe the second reason why we came into this world. And you need to look for solutions, overcome them, and live the best life ever. And of course, the third reason why we came into this world, again, not to suffer, is to share your gift. Once you've done step one, step two, you discover your gift or your purpose in life, then our purpose in life is to share that gift with the rest of the world, and so that we can change the planet, make it happier, and whenever we, in all areas of our lives, spiritual, health, relationships, and financial, well, we come up from a place of abundance consciousness rather than a lack consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would like to end with those words.
Yay. So thank you so much. newlifeafterbreastcancer.com, newlifeafterbreastcancer.com. Go and get your free gift. And Pashi, what a blessing. Thank you so much for the time to talk to you. And I hope for everyone listening this has been valuable. And you go ahead and buy the book and get the free goodies that Pashi's offering you right now, newlifeafterbreastcancer.com. And I look forward to talking to you again. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Take care.
You too.
Yeah. Aloha.
Aloha.